The president declining to talk about exact troop numbers that would be added, but his comments really do, give, I guess, a green light to Secretary of Mattis's plan. He had on the weekend suggested that the U.S. military presence in Afghanistan would be boosted by 50%. This is really against, a lot of the support sort of demographics for the president at a time where he is struggling with support and approval.
Well, this is certainly a shift for the president from his earlier stance, as he said in the speech. During the campaign, he was very much against a continued presence in Afghanistan, saying we should leave, that we've spent way too much money. We've spent more than $700 billion there, and he referenced that number. But today's policy that given in this speech is really more a fairly incremental shift in U.S. policy. This is continuing to advise the Afghan government to support their efforts there, and the troops that would be sent there would be to do that. So it's actually in keeping with the policy that his two predecessors had in Afghanistan as well in the 16 years that the U.S. has been there, the U.S.'s longest war.
Yeah, what is the current situation in Afghanistan?
So it's been fairly dire. The government there only controls about 60% of the country. So there's a lot of insurgency. There's a lot of up and downs. It's been a difficult situation. And of course, being bordered by Pakistan and having Russia involved, it's a tough situation there. And that's one of the reasons that his advisors, including his Secretary of Defense and his Secretary of State, have advised not to leave hastily, that it could just create a worse situation like in Iraq.
And some of the most interesting, I think, comments, part of the speech, were to do with Pakistan and India. Very interesting approach from the president.
Yes, he both kind of gave a little bit of a thank you to Pakistan, but then also harshly criticized them for what he called harboring terrorists. And Pakistan's role in the whole situation in that region has been a complex one, and he addressed that while doing some tough talk to them. Also did an olive branch to India, which was interesting. There has been some conflict lately because of the president's immigration policy toward India, which has been less welcoming, and there's been some tensions there as a result.
And Jodi, how much has really the events of Charlottesville, the aftermath, have kind of played into foreign policy plans?
Yeah, I think the president was trying to use this speech as a reset to say, here, I'm your commander-in-chief. I'm going to discuss weighty issues that need discussion. Foreign policy, this is his first address since he spoke to Congress in January. So clearly he's trying to move beyond the events of Charlottesville and the drama of last week. Whether that's enough, we'll see. There's also, he's had a split with the business community over his Charlottesville remarks, and he's said some tough things to Congress, including to people like Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. So he's going to have a tougher time with lawmakers as well. So I think he really was viewing this as a reset, a chance to have all the trappings of the office. Did it at Fort Myer, and an Army facility just miles from the White House. So we'll see how it plays over coming days and weeks.